Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the DFS experience for Monday, October 24th. We have an 8 game slate. We're going to jump right in. We're starting with DraftKings. We're starting with point guard John Morant, 10-1, too cheap. Definitely going to have shares of him in my lineups, especially against Brooklyn, who's not going to be able to. They're not going to be able to handle him. So I love John Morant at 10-1. He's a 60, 70 fantasy point player. We've seen it already. So Um, when we look at these players and their prices, we got to literally break down what's their ceiling, what they're capable of. John Morant is now in the realm with Luka and Jokic when it comes to fantasy points. I won't put him up there with Giannis yet because Giannis could put up 50 fantasy points in 2 quarters, like he did, like he was doing against Houston. But John Morant is definitely upper echelon when it comes to the fantasy points. Um, when it comes to fantasy points, so 10-1 for Ja is a little bit underpriced. Lillard looks like he's healthy. He's back. He's um he's carrying the scoring load for Portland. Even though the team's a little bit better, a little bit more balanced, they got Jeremy Grant. Obviously, Simon stepped up. You still got Nurkic, but he's taking all the shots and he's putting the scoring on his back. While they're in this mode and riding his wave, I suggest you roster him on DFS. When somebody else steps up on Portland, then maybe we could bring back the Lillard shares. But for now, he's taking a lot of shots, so pay attention to that. Kyrie's fine, $9,400. I still prefer John Lillard over him. Harden, Mr. Harden is back. The team is a little bit of a slump, but Harden's taking an awful lot of shots. Game 1, 14. Game 2, 24. Game 3, 18. He was only 4 for 18. He was 4 for 18. He still put up 48 fantasy points. I never thought that this season we'd be running right back to Harden, but he's too cheap. Play Harden. Van Fleet. Van Fleet, although I overlook him and I don't play him as much as I should. He's in play. Um, Van Fleet is in play. Not the most optimal looking play, but he's in play. I'd rather play Halliburton. Halliburton does everything for his team. Halliburton is the perfect DFS player because he's not priced up where he needs to be. The only problem with Halliburton is his coach, who's an absolute asshole. So, I faded Halliburton last slate because I didn't know what his coach was doing. I effed around and played Isaiah Jackson, and the coach played Isaiah Jackson in 4 minute stints. 4 minute rotations for a starter. Listen, I know we play this for DFS, but I'm not even gonna go there. I'm gonna just keep my mouth shut. Halliburton's a good play. Be very careful with the rotations in Indiana. And if I was gonna play somebody from Indiana, it'll be Halliburton, Mathurin, and I'm very scared to play any big men from Indiana. Um, if you play Isaiah Jackson, then the coach is gonna play Goga, a lot more minutes. If they start Goga, the coach is gonna play Isaiah Jackson a lot more minutes. If if Jalen Smith is good to go, then for some reason he plays 6 minutes. I'm not with the bullshit. You understand what I'm saying? With all that being said, Halliburton is underpriced. Jamal Murray 7,500. I don't need him right now. D'Angelo Russell. He didn't have a great fantasy point game last night. Is going to be expected. Playing next to Gobert, playing next to Cat, playing next to Edwards. So you're gonna have to pick your spots with Russell. I pray to God that you get lucky. Kevin Porter, on the other hand, everything goes through him and Jalen Green. Absolutely amazing play. Um, I like Kevin Porter. I like his salary, and I like his matchup because I like pieces from Utah also. So if you want to do a mini game stat, Utah and Houston, you can absolutely have at it because it definitely stands out. Jalen Brunson brought some legitimacy to the Knicks. He's in play, $6,800. I think he's priced appropriately. Um, Scotty Barnes isn't giving us the fantasy points we need from him this season, so we'll continue. Ben Simmons, um, Ben Simmons is fine. He's an okay play. Doesn't shoot enough for me. Tyler Hero, Tyler Hero had a good fantasy point day, although he was in major foul trouble. I'm going right back to him. $6,500 starting for Miami. Renaissance man Mike Conley. I don't know not Mike Conley. Utah Jazz got rid of all their starters, left the oldest one on the team, and now they're like the best team in the league. You can't make this shit up. But you know what? Right now, with the pieces Conley has around him, he's gonna play at $6,300. What did I tell you guys about marketing last night? I told y'all to play marketing that he's the alpha on Utah, and he was in the optimal last night. Listen, Chap don't know what he talking about. Um, who's this? Cole Anthony? No, thank you. Actually, no, no, thank you. I don't care if Cole Anthony has a good game every once in a blue. I'm still not rostering him. 32 minutes, 13 shots, 9 rebounds, 6 assists. That's not gonna hold up. Like nine rebounds. Like you're playing with Wendell Carter, Mo Bamba, Bol, Bonchero. Like, do I really think you're gonna get 9 rebounds all the time? He looks good. If you want to take a shot on him, you can have at it. But he's not somebody I'm chasing. Jordan Clarkson, 6,200. I definitely love Jordan Clarkson. Nah, let me take that word back. I like Clarkson against Houston. I like him. Cole Anthony is playable while Suggs is out. Yes, go on ahead. Maxi, no Maxi for me. I was so high on Maxi to start the slate, and he let me down. The old Harden is back, so Maxi would just be a role player for now. It is what it is. We could think what we want to think, but you know, men lie, women lie, numbers don't. The numbers say that Harden is back, and Max is just along for the ride for now, unfortunately. Kyle Lowry, I he put a gun to my head and told me I had to play him. You might have to blow my brains out, but I'm not playing Kyle Lowry. He's not the worst player in the world. I just can't do it. Too many good plays for me to be playing Kyle Lowry in 2022. Um, especially next to Hero, next to Butler. I'm not sure what Bam is doing, but I'm not playing Kyle Lowry right now. Maybe if I play like 20 lineups, I'll put him in one. No Marcus Smart for me. Um, Sexton, last man in. All right. Does some know if Levine is out? Um, I guess we're back to the Trey Jones, right? Trey Jones is going to be capped. He's only going to be playing like 30 minutes. Well, he played 35 minutes. Was this the overtime game? I'm not sure. Indiana. This might have been the overtime game, but he's going to play like 30 minutes. He's, he's okay. He's an okay play. Like he's taking 12 shots, 1 rebound, 4 rebounds, 3 rebounds, four. He's not really going to give you a lot of stocks. He's just a decent player at a good price. So if you're paying 5K for Trey Jones, don't expect the moon. You know what I'm saying? Expect about 25 to 30 fantasy points, which is, 5 times value. Brogdon, I'm not really playing anyone on Boston right now. Tatum and Brown's usage is through the roof, and as long as their usage is going to be extremely high, and those two are going to be taking a lot of shots, I don't need to be playing anybody else from Boston. You know what I'm saying? I like playing players with high usages that take a good amount of shots, not backup singers. You know what I'm saying? I need I need I need people that star in their own concert, not backup singers. And that's what you'll be paying for if you play Brogdon, while Jason Tatum is out there dropping 70 fantasy points and Malcolm Brogdon is giving you 20. Like, what are you winning doing that? Absolutely nothing. Tyus Jones, last man in, is fine. Derek White, um, you know, if he wanted to take a shot, not the worst player in the world, but I try to find something else. No Patty Mills for me. Caruso, I'm on the fence about. Last man in, he can give you a good game, but I haven't seen it so far. Um, no Patty Mills, no Derrick Rose, no Gabe Vincent, no Quickly. None of these guys yet. None of these guys. Um, I don't think we're playing Jalen Noel. Let's just see. And Minnesota only played like 2 games, I believe. Was it 3 games? You get in minutes. 18, 20, 24. You get a lot of shots. 5 for 11, 8 for 14, 5 for 16. Um, 20 fantasy points, 28 fantasy points, 27 fantasy points. As long as he's getting the minutes, he's playable. So, um, Jalen Noel at $3,800, he looks a little sneaky. 3 games and 3 games, and he's looking good off the bench. So, might as well play him while you can before his price flies up. All right, I don't see anybody else down here that we can use. Nembhard, I want to mess with him because he's from Indiana. Um, if he doesn't start, you can F around and get a DNP. Um, I'm not like I said, I'm not messing with the coach. Um, first game, 30 minutes, 27 fantasy points. The next game, he played 9 minutes. So that tells you everything you need to know. And I've been rostering a lot of Indiana for the first couple of games, and I could kindly tell you that they're just basically tanking. But we all know that. We definitely all know that. Let's go to shooting guard. All right. Um, Jalen Brown. He's gonna play. I prefer Halliburton. I'm locking in Halliburton. I'm locking in Halliburton. Maybe until he's like high 9,000s for salary, but I'm just locking in Halliburton. Way too cheap. Halliburton. Jalen Brown is a decent play, but I prefer Halliburton. I think I just said that, but I just want to make sure we understand each other. I don't need Levine, especially against Boston. Boston's still a great defensive team. Um, Anthony Edwards. Anthony Edwards, I'll take a shot on. I prefer Hero. $1,400 less. I don't. I If you want to take a shot on Bane, you can. especially if there's no Dylan Brooks, you know, throwing a wrench into things. So no Dylan Brooks, you could play Bane. I love Jalen Green at his price. Um, Extremely high usage on Houston. I love this game. I love Porter and Green. Mathurin, price is going up. They're gonna need his offense against Philly, but they're tanking. So I don't really know how to look at this. He's a great play. He should be starting. Indiana's just a whole mess. You know what I'm saying? Buddy Hield started, played 14 minutes the last game. How do I not know they're not going to give Mathurin the same treatment? It's only a matter of time. Very, very volatile play, but a very good play. Not a very good play, a good play. But you know Matherin's going to come in and take shots. And he's been very efficient. So Matherin's in play. Gary Trent is an okay play. Simons is an okay play. Terrence Ross, the other Renaissance man. Listen, he's starting. It's working for him. I guess playing. I don't like playing Terrence Ross because he doesn't get rebounds or anything like that. But 35 minutes, 16 shots. Although he did hit 11 of them, 5 for 8 from three. You know he's not going to do that every game. 29 real life points, 40 fantasy points. Listen, the thing is, we can't play studs every spot, so we're gonna need, the Terrence Rosses of the world to roster. So he's in play. Um, I prefer Brooks to be out. If he plays, I don't like him at $5,700. I prefer Terrence Ross. I prefer Josh Hart at 56. I prefer my guy Devin Vassell, $5,400. Might be a touch underpriced for his role in Utah. Play him. We spoke about Sexton. I don't need Joe Harris. The Sumner was okay play. Okay play. I don't need KCP. He's playing with Jokic, Aaron Gordon, Michael Porter, Jamal Murray. That tells you all you need to know. Last man in. If you wanted to, if you ran a crunch, if you ran an optimizer, and you played 100 lineups and you got some KCP, that's fine. If you're handling a few lineups, you're not playing KCP. Um, Fournier, I don't think I need. Concher, if there's no Dylan Brooks. I don't need Eric Gordon. No Duarte. Duarte's been getting the shaft. He hasn't been playing well, but him not playing well and his coach together, bad combination. Um, I don't think. Let me see. No Bruce Brown. Beasley's in play for Utah, $4,400. If you wanted to take a shot on Primo, you can. He's coming in backup for Trey Jones. Um, Jalen Noel at $3,800. You can take a shot on. Smith, I wouldn't mess with on Indiana. Josh Richardson, you could take a shot on off the bench for San Antonio. And I think we stop right there. At least now we're coming into week 2 of the NBA. We're seeing some more plays down in the 3K range now that hasn't been there. So now we're opening up our variety. Um, we're opening up our options. Let's go to small forward. KD at 10-2. You know that Brooklyn is going to need a lot of firepower to keep up with Memphis. Look for Durant to have a great game, a big game. He's absolutely in play. The only problem with Kevin Durant is that Jason Tatum is a better point per dollar play at $300 less. Tatum has been a dog this season. Um, play Tatum and thank me later. I don't need DeRozan. If Levine is, I don't need DeRozan if Levine is playing because you see that when Levine goes off, DeRozan doesn't. But we know that if Brown goes off for Boston, Tatum could still have a great game. So that's what I love about Tatum and Brown. They don't really interfere with each other's production. I mean, if somebody has a crazy game, obviously the next player's fantasy points are going to be down a little bit, but it's not to the extent of like that Levine having 25 real life points and DeRozan having 9. It's not something like that. Um, I like Tatum. I like Tatum a lot. RJ Barrett, he's overpriced for his role with Jalen Brunson on the floor. Don't need Barnes. OG's in play. If there's no Scotty Barnes, OG looks OG looks great. Nick Nurse said after the game, the Heat. Oh, oh, he looks like he's gonna be out. The ankle is hurt. So fire up OG, fire up Siakam, fire up Van Fleet. Everybody's rates go up on Toronto. Fire it up. Laurie Markkinen, listen, I don't know what DraftKings is waiting for. Lock in Laurie Markkinen, like lock him in right now. Lock him in. So we have Markkinen, Matherin, um, Franz Wagner's in play. Buddy Hield's not in play, unfortunately. If you want to see what I've been talking about, so he played 16 minutes. He played like 7 minutes in the first half for no reason. He wasn't in foul trouble or nothing. He shot 2 for 8, right? How in the hell can you get in a rhythm if your coach is playing you 7 minutes in an entire half? Like, why start him? That's my problem. Like, you're not gonna play him, don't play him. But why start him? You're starting players and playing them 7 minutes and giving them 4 minute rotations. What are you doing? Jesus Christ. Um. So yeah, we can't play Buddy here right now. Be very careful with Indiana. Very careful. Michael Porter's in play. Listen, his ceiling is capped with Jokic on the floor, especially with Jamal Murray too. I'm gonna stay away from all those Denver players. You know, games where you have Murray and Jokic, I probably just mess with Jokic if his price is respectable. Tobias at 58 is fine. It's okay. Um, Definitely like hard Vassal in this small forward section though. I prefer them in the mid range. This is what Jaden, right? Yeah, Jaden McDaniels. I'm not playing Jaden McDaniels right now. There's no need to go there. No Grant Williams. No need to go there. Um, Grant Williams had a good game when there was no Horford, but we're not playing Grant Williams at $4,600. No, thank you. If he started and there was still no Horford, then I could see it, but no. Um, don't need any of these guys down here. So Sean, Cam Reddish, you want to take a shot on? You can. Now, I'm only taking shots on guys I feel comfortable with. If there's guys down here you feel comfortable with, feel free to play them. It's just I don't feel comfortable playing them. Even if they may have had a good game, you know, that doesn't mean that I'm gonna chase it. You know. Um, all right, let's go to power forward. Um, So we got Tatum. We got Cat 9,200, still overpriced. We got Butler, hasn't exploded yet, but it's coming. Julius Randle at 8,200 is fine, but I prefer Banchero at 7,600. I had Banchero when it was Saturday. I had Banchero in my lineup for DraftKings. I think both DraftKings and FanDuel all day long. Last minute on DraftKings, I faded him for Jason Tatum, and Tatum went off. But I love Banchero. Um, Keldon Johnson, going right back to him. Jabari Smith is an okay play. Jeremy Grant is a fine play. The thing with Jeremy Grant is that his point guard takes 30 shots a game. That's the problem. But he's an okay play. The bias, Philly's going to be going hard. I think they're still undefeated. Not undefeated. I think they still haven't won a game, so they'll probably be pressing hard trying to get that win. So I do like the Philly starters. Not Maxi though. I don't really like Maxi like that anymore. Jalen Smith, $5,500. People will chase him. I'm staying away from him again. Listen, he is he's a very good play, but there's something weird's going on in Indiana, and I don't want my lineup messed up, knowing that I knew better and didn't do better by messing around with the Indiana guys. I promise you something weird's gonna happen on Monday with Indiana. Promise you. Horford's playing, so um that confirms what I said about Grant Williams. There's no way you're playing Grant Williams at $4,600. Kelly Olynyk, he's in play. Hate to say it. Aldama, Memphis got blown out last game, so the Memphis starters didn't hit value. If there's no Dylan Brooks, go right back to Aldama. Vanderbilt, shit. He's a fantasy player. Like, he doesn't shoot, and he's still putting up the fantasy points. Play him. Eason, we don't need him. Isaiah Jackson, if he starts, but when he's getting 4 minute rotations, what you gonna do with that? And he still hit value, but he had 5 blocks. So, you know, if you played Isaiah Jackson, you got very lucky. I said Cam Reddish is fine. Justin Winslow, if that's your last man in, he's getting some minutes off the bench. KJ Martin, if he starts again at 4,100, I don't like playing KJ Martin, but $4,100, what are you gonna do? Um, yeah, there's nobody else down here that you wanna take shots on unless you're trying to lose. Let's go to center. Jokic is too pricey. Um, Jamal Murray is a full go, right? Yeah, Jamal Murray is a full go, so I'm not playing Jokic at 10-9. I'd rather play Tatum. I'd rather play Morant. I'd rather play Lillard. There's a whole bunch of guys I'd rather play at their price points. All right. Actually, I'd rather play Embiid, to be honest with you. Philly needs this win. Jokic is in play, Embiid's in play, Gobert's in play, Siakam's in play if there's no especially if there's no Barnes. If there's no Scotty Barnes, you fire up Siakam. I don't need no Vucevic, Levine back. Bam Adebayo has lost his way. I don't like Wendell Carter playing next to Banchero. Nurkic, I don't know what's going on with him. I don't need him. I'll take a shot on Jacob Hurdle. Listen, Claxton is getting a lot of easy looks with Ben Simmons. That's why his fantasy points are looking like this. Um, that's why he's so efficient. 34 minutes, 8 for 11 shooting, 11 rebounds, 4 blocks on steal. I love the minutes. I love the rebounds. I love the blocks. Not going to go crazy about the field goals because obviously he has to get set up by his point guards. And Claxton's in play. He's a touch overpriced for me, but the way the algorithm is gonna the way the algorithm looks is because the season is so condensed, so it's gonna look crazy. He's a decent play though. I prefer him to be a little bit cheaper, but he's a fine play. What's going on in Utah with Sengun? Maybe maybe they start, you know, maybe they start Garuba. Is that his name? Maybe they start Garuba again. They do everything except start Sengun. I don't know why. His his fantasy point ceiling is capped because of his head coach. 23 minutes, 4 for 9, 9 rebounds, 2 assists, 1 block, 1 steal. In 23 minutes, still put up 26 fantasy points. I don't know. I don't know what's going on with Sengun and his coach, but ask him with our fantasy lineups. He's still a good play though. He's an okay play. We prefer him to start. No Mitchell Robinson for me. I don't need Horford. Um, I don't really Kessler. You want to take a shot? And as far as the rest of these low owned guys, not low owned guys, these low salary players, I just wait for when we wait. I'll wait for news, and then once we get news, then I I'll plug these guys into our lineups if we need them. But for right now, I'm not going to force anything I don't need. I see enough I see enough underpriced players that I don't need to go crazy. So let's get 5 guys and let's get out of here. Let me try to wrap this video up. Um, all right, let's go back to. You know what? Let's pick up Halliburton. Let's pick up Halliburton because he's too cheap. Let's go. Let's pick up Markkinen because he's too cheap. Power forward. I like Banchero at his price. I love Kelvin Johnson. Let's pick up Kelvin Johnson. No, let's do this. Let's put in Vassell at shooting guard. We do Tyler Hero, but playing Vassell at 54, that opens up your lineup to play other good players. Now let's put in Halliburton. Um, I could play Banchero if I like. Um, this is a great matchup for Kelvin Johnson. I could probably play both. Let's go. Let's do this. Banchero, Kelvin Johnson. You know what? I like them both. Let's do this. Let's play Banchero, and then let's play Kelvin Johnson in the forward spot. And when Barnes gets ruled out officially, you have all those Toronto bigs to mess with. So these guys just pretty much stand out to me. You got Halliburton underpriced, Vassell underpriced for his role, Markkinen underpriced for his role, Banchero is a star at $7,600, and Keldon Johnson is pretty much underpriced for his role. So these are 5 guys I like for DraftKings right now. Let's run to FanDuel. Let's get 5 guys and let's get out of here. Once again, thanks for watching. Um, thank you for subscribing, hitting the bell, thumbs up, all that stuff. I've been seeing you doing it. I really appreciate it. And quickly, very quickly, if you guys need me to, if there's anybody out there that's having trouble cashing on NBA, and you want my lineups, my entire lineups, or you want me to make new lineups, DraftKings, FanDuel, Yahoo, SuperDraft, take a look at my Patreon, link in the description, and and I'll take care of you from there. All right, let's get 5 guys. Let's get out of here. Halliburton's 8,500. A lot better on DraftKings, but that's fine. Jalen Green and Porter stand out so far. Trey Jones is 54. That's fine. Jalen Green, 6,300 looks great. I'll get back to him in a second. Harden, Halliburton, um, Tyler Hero, too cheap. Um, Josh Hart, Devin Vassell, 5,800. Buddy Hield's unplayable. Matherin is way too cheap. Even with everything going on in Indiana, Matherin is way too cheap. Marketing, Bonchero, love those guys. Keldon Johnson, love that guy. Love his price. Price is okay. Um, OG, if there's no Scotty Barnes, then this slate gets flipped on its head. Like I said, the Toronto bigs, they all look amazing. Okay, front to power forward.